Hi, and welcome to Funny Minds. And I am your host, Lynn B., and I have my co-host, Eddie, to my right. And today we have Bethany Bosworth, and Bethany is an adorable young lady who is a senior in high school down here in Florida. She is going to be going to MIT, and from MIT, she's going to be working for Elon Musk. And she's going to explain all of that to you. Also, Bethany was the director for her school play and has been dealing in drama with her school for some times. And we say drama in two different categories, and she'll let you know about that. So, hello, Bethany, and welcome to our show.
Hi.
Okay, why don't you tell us all about you?
So, my main aspiration right now is I want to be a biomedical engineer, and I want to work with prosthetics. So, I've applied to MIT. I'll be getting that decision back in December. Obviously, I think I'll get it, but I won't know for sure until then.
Well, I'm going to place a phone call.
He's going to place a phone call.
My people are going to talk to their people, and we'll, if we have to, we'll go Jersey and we'll call Moose and Rocco. If we have to.
Get hooked up there. Major in mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering there. And then after that, I'm thinking about working for maybe Neuralink, which is with Elon Musk. And they have kind of this great chip that basically it connects your brain in that way, kind of mind and machine can come together. So one of the big things is paralysis. It can help with a lot of neurological things, like if you have tinnitus, it's hurting in the ear, and things like that. Me specifically, I want to work with amputation and prosthetics. So the neural prosthetics, which effectively function as a replacement for lost limbs. So if I was to lose my arm, a neural prosthetic would replace it, and I would have a sense of touch, sense of feet, I would be able to move it. You wouldn't have to learn how to use the prosthetic, because a lot of the time, if you have a prosthetic for an arm, for example, the muscles that control it would be like in your chest, and it takes a lot of time to learn how to use that. But with a neural prosthetic, that's not necessary.
So basically, you can turn people into robots.
Exactly, like cyborgs.
Yeah, really, cyborgs, yeah.
But it isn't. It's incredible. The forethought. When you start with that thought process to where it is now, that it's an area of study, an area of interest for younger people coming up that want to dive into that when even just 5 years ago.
I know, and they always used to say art imitates life, and they've made so many movies in the past, and you look at those movies and say, oh my God, that could never happen in our lifetime. And then look, and you're sitting here and you're telling us that, people who had so many problems, like losing a hand and saying, gee, I have the feeling, or I think, that there's something there, but I don't feel anything there.
Oh,
and I have phantom pain. And you're telling us that that's not going to happen anymore. This type of medicine or
area of study, man. It's not even
science.
Medicine,
it's a science.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily technology that exists right now, but I firmly think that it's possible, and I also firmly think that it's born at the right time, so to speak. I think, it's very cutting edge. Stuff that the MIT Biomedical Eingeneer has been doing, which is one of their research groups, is really amazing. The big, struggle with it, you could say, is just getting that connection to the biological system. The prosthetic exists, the person exists, but wiring it together and making it work, that's always going to be the biggest challenge.
So all of these sensory feelings come from the brain, right? Is the spinal cord involved, or that would be involved if it was some other type of area?
Well, all of your neurological signals, not all of it, but the vast majority get sent into the spinal cord, and then that brings it up to the brain. So yes, the spinal cord is. So
that would be an area that they would have to research also, because that's kind of a very specific area where a lot of people don't want to touch the spine too often. Different things, but I do know that, and my daughter's going to get this. Someone else did. They implanted, because she has a lot of pain in her foot, and they did an outside they put something on the outside which triggered every time she had pain. It triggered something to her brain which eased the pain. So since it worked, then she will, once it's approved, she will have it embedded inside. So that's kind of like a beginning, a start to what you really want to do in the future, which is way beyond. I mean, that's very simple, but what you want to do is way beyond that faction.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with that specific piece of technology, but that does sound absolutely incredible. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'd imagine that it's sending kind of that counteractive signal to the brain. So that sounds absolutely incredible. I'm read about that.
It is, and when I was working, my general manager, his wife had a lot of problems with her back, and she had something similar. But she went through many, many back surgeries before someone in Colombia suggested this, and I haven't seen him in several years, so I don't really know how she's doing. I know in the beginning it was supposed to be okay, but how it's progressed, I really don't know. And the same with my daughter. There's no guarantees. Like, just because it worked with the demo product doesn't mean that once they embed it, that down the road is this something that's you are going to have to every couple of years replace, or tweak or whatever. I don't know. So
it's hard to even comment on that because it doesn't even exist yet. But that's there's going to be a lot to it. What started that process with you to gain such interest that you're? I mean, let's be honest. Not everybody goes to MIT. Not everybody even thinks about going to MIT. But not only did you decide on that, but this area of study. Like, what got that process started?
If I'm to be honest with you, it actually started with a video game I played when I was in like 8th grade.
Wow.
It was, or maybe it's 7th grade, but it was this Spider-Man video game where they kind of had that technology already come to fruition and existing, which was the Spider-Man PS4 video game. But then kind of after seeing that, I saw it, I was like, that's really interesting. I started reading about it. And then what really, really got me going was reading about both Neuralink with Elon Musk and the Masonic group at MIT that I mentioned earlier, because those two, that company and that research group are just like absolutely fascinating things, and it really made me realize that I kind of want to be a part of that,
Yeah, was there anything along the way that your high school offered? Like, how far advanced was high school classes that could kind of give you a little insight to, or probably like the highest level, I should say, you can get in high school before moving on to something like MIT? Do they have anything up your alley there?
There are some high school groups at my school that are dedicated to people who want to work in health fields, and that's mostly because they want to be doctors. There's a robotics group at my school.
Oh, okay.
Aside from that, not really too much. I mean, I took physics there, I took calculus, I took AP Bio, so I've gotten, some coursework there that's been helpful, but I would say it's not really going to get started until college.
Yeah. So you gained as much as you could here, and then now it's the next step, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's super cool, very unique and interesting, and it's not every day you meet anybody who, like I said, even thinks about doing something like that. So that's super exciting.
At such a young age.
Are you a little nervous?
Oh, of course I am. Of course I'm nervous, because, when you have these really big aspirations, it's always like, there's always that, eventually I can actually do it. But, I think if I actually keep putting in work and working on it every single day, and hopefully do it, I think I can do it.
And forge forward and always think positive that, tomorrow's another day, and another day where I can learn more, study more, do more. And look at all the technology that we have now. It started with people with an idea, and they went forward with that idea, and other people jumped onto that idea, and it just snowballs, and it's like a domino effect. And, if you really work hard enough for something, eventually you're going to find an answer.
Well, obviously the apple has not fallen too far from the tree, as we could say. I would have to, without a doubt, give Dad a little thanks for inheriting some of his brain power and
genes, yes.
that's kind of
lots of homework help.
Well, yes. But you had a good role model, a very intelligent dad, very successful dad, and I'm not shocked that you're choosing to do this. That's super cool. How did you wind up getting involved? I mean, obviously, from an artistic aspect, how did you get involved in the school play? Was it something where you wanted to be in the play, or you just wanted to be on the outside, making it work?
So it started in middle school, and I was mostly doing acting then. But even then, I was kind of like, well, I see people on the sidelines who are operating like and I got really interested in tech at that point. Then I went to my first high school, which didn't have a theater program. This was my first 2 years of high school. I didn't really do much of anything. I know. Very sad. I went to
Yeah, well, they do so many cuts now, with budgets and stuff, and those kind of things are the first things to go.
Well, and I went to Bosworth, which is like a charter school, so we only had 600 students, very small, just didn't really have the people or the resources for it. Then I ended up transferring to Lady Lakes High School, which is, up in Castle County, and they have a robust theater program because they have these two wonderful teachers with science and math. Very, very passionate. So it attracts like some of the best, performers in the area for high school.
So it's getting to the point where people are starting to focus their energy on trying to get in there because that program has now excelled and the word's getting out there.
Exactly. Definitely one of the best in the county.
And also things are coming back now. Of course, you guys weren't in school for the longest time. So these programs had to come to a halt. So now everything's coming back and everybody's getting very excited about, being part of the band, being part of this, being part of, sports, being part of drama. So all of that is very interesting for you kids that, you're finally back to living a normal life, going to school and doing things.
So give us a run through of the play that you got involved with.
Well, what was the name of the play, first of all?
Well, I was the student director of our play last year, and it was very successful. And that was kind of the first time I really got to be involved in the creative team. But then this year, we did a one-act play called The Actor's Nightmare. And I was the stage manager, so that meant that I was in charge of running rehearsals, coordinating lights, sound, props, costumes, makeup, all of those. I had to hire everybody for those positions. But the biggest responsibility the stage manager has is maintaining the practical, is what we call it. But basically, it's a copy of the script, and you go through and you write in standbys, which are kind of like warnings, for all of your cues, any lighting change, any set change, any sound change, and then your goes, which are when you say, okay, go, do the cue, make the light change happen, make the sound change happen. And then during the show, you have to call the show. So you'll be with your little prompt book, you're going through, and you're listening to the show, and when those things are happening on stage, you have to say, standby lights C, go lights C, and just making sure that the show goes smoothly.
Okay.
And if you don't call your cue, they're just going to be in the dark. So.
And everybody's going to be like little mannequins knocking over one another.
Whoopsie. So obviously this is not a laydown. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into this.
Yes. So for the last, because it's a one act, it's created pretty much specifically for a competition. It's we did the play itself is written, but we chose it as a one act to do for a competition because they're shorter, and they have a time limit for us. It's 40 minutes.
Okay.
So we've been rehearsing for about a month and a half, 3 days a week, every day, and then the last 2 weeks it's been every day.
Wow.
That's a lot of time. Yes. You're giving a lot of time.
Giving a lot of time up to make sure that it's the best it can be. And we worked really, really hard. We had a competition yesterday. That one play was going to be selected to compete at our state competition, which is in March during spring break.
Okay.
And our play was not selected, which was a pretty big sting for me because we put in a lot of work, and I don't want to sound arrogant, but I'm kind of used to being successful at things.
Right.
A lot of work and.
Apple and tree.
Yes, very much so.
Well, hey, listen, we could always take it back to Jersey, Moose and Rocco. If you would have just called me, I could have called Moose and Rocco, and we could have had things worked out, an offer they can't refuse.
But it's something like I understand where you're coming from, and you're very very young, so in life a lot of times there are going to be disappointments, and you have to learn to not so much accept the disappointments, but understand them. Understand them. Understand. Well, what could we have done to make this better, or do more? Was it the judges? Was it us? Was it just fate? Whatever. But it's a good life lesson, and it humbles people, And for a young girl, you're going to be humbled, but it's going to give you the push to move on, to do better, to do more, to excel in what you have to do, and be proud of yourself. Be proud of everything that you did to bring it to that point, because you felt that you did the best job that you could possibly do. And that's all anybody can ever ask of a person. Do the best that you can do for yourself and be proud of yourself. And I think you should be. And I bet it probably was a great play, too.
I think our play was very good. I will say that the other play that was chosen was absolutely excellent. I'm not upset with that.
Okay, well, you're being honest. You're being honest. So that's
Are you going to get, now, obviously you're completely focused on MIT. That's the priority. Now, does MIT have any type of theater?
It's funny you should ask. You actually major in drama and theater at MIT.
At MIT?
Can you really? I never knew that. No. I never knew that.
Because actors are not typically rocket scientists.
Really? That's true.
So that's cool.
I'm not planning to, of course, but at MIT, basically, you have your majors, you have your minors, which I'm thinking I'm going to major in biomedical engineering, but you also have to have what they call a humanities concentration.
Mm-hmm.
One sort of humanities subject and take a bunch of classes in it. I think it's like 8 classes.
Okay.
So I think I'll do my humanities concentration and theater because I really like it. So.
Yeah.
And you have experience in it. And you love it. Obviously, you love it because your face just lit up when you were talking about it, And it's lighting up right now too. So
just keep in touch with me. We'll collaborate on some ideas. They don't have to know I'm not a student there.
Yeah, I won't say anything.
I'm just your creative consultant.
Well, you've been to MIT and you've talked to the people at MIT. Okay.
Absolutely gorgeous campus. So lovely.
Where exactly is it? It's in Boston, correct?
Well, technically it's in Cambridge.
Okay,
it's on the other side of the river. But,
right.
I mean, it's the only thing that separates those cities is a river and a bridge.
Right.
You don't feel like.
And Boston is so much fun.
Yeah, but did you pick this because of Tom Brady? Like hoping he'd come back to New England? Or is it really about the studies?
Or, did you pick it when he was in New England?
I have a feeling that she may have a little Brady.
No comment. No comment.
Well, we happen to see how she's adorned today because she's going to the game to see Tom, who is free, by the way, now.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. No more Giselle, so
and
there you go.
And, yeah.
Older man, it's okay.
Back to Cambridge, that area.
I don't know what Dad would think about that, but that's
Dad would
okay.
not be happy, probably.
I mean, if I was going to pick like a 45-year-old guy to go out with, like if that was the given, I think Tom Brady would be.
He'd be out of your
He would be the one. He would definitely.
I think if Dad thought I'd come, I feel like I should have Dad at this.
No, Dad would be like, hey, as long as he's going to hook us up with season tickets.
Exactly.
Date him, marry him. I don't care.
Whatever, you'll be set for life.
Exactly.
So what's next on your agenda as far as you have, obviously, the word's going to be coming shortly. I feel good about it.
Yes.
I do too.
Yes, I'm going to put all those positive vibes out into the universe.
She wins at the Hard Rock every time she comes, so just rub her shoulder or something, and you're good.
I'm manifesting it.
Yes, I just, read The Secret. You put it out into the universe. You got to put those positive vibes out there.
What would be the game plan post?
Well, after I get in, just finish strong with high school, get moved up there, the MIT, start working as hard as I can. See if I can do some of their undergraduate research because they have really great opportunities for undergraduate students to do research. And then grad school at Johns Hopkins and start working.
Oh, wait, we didn't know about that. Grad school, you're going to Johns Hopkins.
Well, hopefully, we're
Okay.
talking.
Yeah, she's
like
going to
on the
do
game,
it.
but she is going to
You know
do
what?
it.
She's
We're
going to
talking
do
5
it.
years ahead at this point.
Yeah, but you know what? You're going to do it. We already know, and the audience already knows, right, audience? We already know that Britt is going to be this oh my God, insane person that does all of these things. And 5 years from now, we're going to have her back on the show. And she's going to be telling us
we
how.
got to do it annually, so we get an update.
Check-in,
we get an update of what's going on. Yeah, I think I like that better. Yes, I'm sure Dad
Because
will
by then,
agree
she
to that.
may be so far ahead that one of us banana heads
Might need her.
this.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And we could call Bethany and say, Bethany, listen, I got attacked by a shark. I don't have a left arm at the moment. Can you help?
do something
Can you
for
fix
me.
that? That's why you're having me on right now. You just want the connection.
I did.
Have you been to Elon Musk's company? I hear he's a lunatic, but
We're all lunatics.
He's a personality for sure.
yeah, he is a personality for sure.
I have not been there yet,
Okay.
but I read a lot about the stuff that you do online. I read the people who do that and all of that. So,
He's in Texas.
yeah, he's in Austin.
So, at what point will you start trying to maneuver yourself into a position where make friends or start talking to people, or
I would say she's already did that already.
have you or no?
I mean, I do work to try to make connections with people, especially people who be successful in the future.
Right.
I don't want to name drop and be like, yeah, I'm only friends with you.
Yeah. No, that's all right. We don't need to know any names. Are you on LinkedIn?
No.
Okay.
No. I've never worked, so I'll probably be on LinkedIn with myself.
Yeah, but I'm positive that they have MIT forums and avenues for students to communicate.
And I'm sure all those type of companies send people in there to be looking at students all the time.
Of course.
And I'm sure your professors, knowing what your ambitions are gonna really try and put you in the right frame of the right lane to be getting noticed in his company. But your goals are so specific, and I really think you're going to meet those goals. I have a lot of positive thoughts that those goals are going to be met by you, Brittany.
We're going to start burning incest.
Incense. No
incest. No.
Incense.
Take that. Cut. We'll have incense, and we'll have your dad play the flute. Get some jacked up Indian music going.
Get some herbal
exactly.
stuff.
We'll just
start having brochures for Neuralink in the room.
Floating around. It's working.
It's working.
That's cool. Have you would you go as far as to even maybe reach out, not put the cart before the horse, but let's say everything is going in the direction that you're hoping it to go, which it will. And you're at that point, and you get going in MIT, start getting yourself situated. Would you reach out to maybe try and get some dialogue going with Elon's company, and maybe start to
once I
meet some people? It's they could go, hey man, I found this girl when she was at MIT. Look at her now. She contacted us early on. She really wants to do this. It can't hurt to reach out and get some dialogue. Say, hey, keep my name on your bucket list.
Of course, 100. Especially when we're in college, a little maybe like a junior year, college, senior year, college, and then when I have a little bit more of a track listing behind me, when they're actually I'm somebody worth talking to.
You have the stats.
Sure,
We'll put it that way, stats. And they're going to look at them and say, this is somebody we like to bring into.
Well, ironic is that someone this intelligent said something that intelligent.
But I also want to touch on something else. And I'm not going to say this right because I don't want to, or you're in charge of a Masonic
Yes.
organization.
So that is the International Order of the Rainbow for Girls. It's a Masonic youth organization for girls aged 10 and 21. And I am the Cranberry Associate Advisor, which that basically translates to the Vice President of the agency.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
It's insane.
And how long have you been working towards that?
Well, I got initiated when I was 11. That's when I first joined.
Okay.
I was just kind of a normal member for 3 years. I had a couple of offices in my local assembly, but nothing crazy. And then I started running for grand offices when I was 14. I was a grand representative first, which basically means just talking to other jurisdictions. So like, I was representative from Louisiana, Maryland, and New York. And then
That's impressive.
Thank you. And then I had 2 other grand offices, which were Grand Fire Director and Grand Finality, which are, Grand Fire Director is being in charge of the fire, Grand Finality is the lecture part for initiation. And then there's other responsibilities that grand offices have.
Okay.
That I'm talking about, for initiation service for Grand Assembly. And then right now, I'm the Grand Worthy Associate Advisor, which means I'm basically second in the state after our Grand Worthy Advisor, which is Abigail Bethany. She's a wonderful girl. But I help manage the grand officers. I'm one of my subcommittees, like I'm on the fundraising committee. I'm a member of our Junior Grand Executive Board, which is / Leadership Council, which is basically helping teach younger girls how to be successful in the organization. And
can I just point something out? You haven't even done anything yet, and already you have a 59-page resume.
I know, really. I mean, like, you are so impressive. I am so impressed right now. I'm blown away. I mean,
you don't even have room for employment on there yet.
Like, do you sleep at all?
Really?
I mean, like, really? Like, do you have any time to do any of that?
Tom Brady.
I used to not sleep, and my dad didn't appreciate that. So then now I sleep enough. But,
Okay.
I sometimes people invite me to go to a party or something, and I have to say no. But I'm always thinking, is it this short-term fun and gratification would be great? Yeah.
Right.
But I always have to think, Bethany, from 10 years from now, be happy that I did this instead of studying or instead of doing this service project or whatever. So.
And you don't want to get involved with something that had nothing to do with you, but you went to that party and somebody was a jerk.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you're involved in something you had nothing to do.
Exactly.
Which could ruin your life. It could.
And I make time for fun. Don't get me wrong. I have a social life. I have friends and all that. But I always try to remember that ultimately, right now, I'm just investing in myself.
Right.
Trying to just work hard and have my future.
Tell us about the Mason aspect. Like, what is it about the Mason organization or setup that drew you to it? What do they do?
Well, I guess first of all, it's a very very proper organization. We wear dresses, our hair has to look nice and everything. So I just felt like it was very nice to. I'm basically my dad.
Right.
Me and my mom are still very close and everything, but still, it's just nice to have that aspect. And then also, it's very. I guess you learn how to. You learn about, I don't want to say politics, but you kind of learn how to operate in this large structure that you're ultimately just kind of what's more important and how to move forward in that structure.
Okay.
Also, it's sort of like a network. Automatically, if I see another girl and I know she's a random girl, I immediately trust her more than I would any random stranger. We call each other our sisters, and it's just ultimately, there's a lot to it, but I really do see it as kind of another networking opportunity just to just meet other people.
Yeah. And I know, it's not like I haven't heard of the Mason organization. Like,
I've never really delved into it. I've never known anybody.
It goes back so far.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many.
George Washington was an instance.
Yeah, if you and I know very little about it, but I have at least learned something. But it is pretty vast, and you can go on. There's a lot of documentaries on it that I've watched that are super.
But you are so focused and so at your age, so far ahead of yourself, and you're very structured. You're extremely structured, but yet you have a great sense of humor too. You have a great smile.
You met her dad, right?
Well, no, but I mean, like, you're not this rigid type of person. You're just really, you're like a whole package.
You're gonna, my head, the ego is just.
No, but really. No, I mean, like, when I first talked to your dad and he sort of gave me a little bit of an idea of what you were doing, I was like, I gotta have your daughter on the show. And then I saw you that day and asked you, And I've been so excited to really have you on the show and hear all of this and know, besides, I mean, there's so much more that your dad didn't even talk about, but I'm so blown away. And I think you're an incredible person. And I'm really would love to just watch your progress as you go along. And yes, I'd love to have you on like once a year, and we'll just keep track of what you're doing and how far you've gone and what you're delving into.
And speak to everybody and plug everything that you can direct them towards, whether it's social media, whether it's just an organization you want to talk about.
Right. If you have a specific email for your position in the Masons, tell everybody what it is. Let them, go on for themselves and take a look at it. If there's something with school or MIT or something, let the people know. Let the audience know.
All right. Well, if you have a daughter between the ages of 11 and 20, you should check out our website, which is FLIORG at .org, so flyorg.org. It stands for Florida International Liberation for Girls.org. We're always really looking for the members. You can figure out what assembly is closest to you, and I think it's a wonderful organization. It's really taught me a lot about how to kind of have social presence, how to speak publicly, and just how to be the best person I can be. And that's even completely setting aside all the service projects and fundraising we do, which is also amazing. We're raising money right now for Camp Boggy Creek, which is a camp near Orlando, Florida, for children that have terminal diseases or just chronic. So everything from cancer to heart problems to diabetes, those kinds of kids, they go there and they just have kind of like a normal summer camp experience. All of the medical equipment is hidden.
Very nice.
It's really great for those kids. Yes. So those are the two big things. If you want to, donate, that would be amazing. And if you want to have a girl join, that would be amazing.
I am so excited. Brittany, I'm so excited that you were on the show today. It's really Bethany. I'm sorry.
Thank you for letting me plug, by the way.
No, that's absolutely very important too. That besides people knowing you, knowing what you're involved in, and you want to give the people that you're dealing with a chance for other people to know them, to investigate them, to be a part of them if they want to. And donations is something I think is very important in this world. Get forward, and especially if they're very lucky people, if they've been very lucky in this life, and they should pay forward. And we always appreciate anybody who does give anything to any organization. There's so many good organizations out there, so I really appreciate you being on our show today. And I'm sure everybody in the audience is really going to enjoy this episode. And again, we are funnyminds.com. Go on our website, take a look. If you have any questions, there's a contact me. If there's anything you'd like to tell us, or you have some suggestions, we'd be glad to hear. Also, we have two organizations that are very dear to us, and that's St. Jude's Children's Hospital and breast cancer. You can go on funnyminds.com. There's a little button that you can make a donation. We also have a store. You can go in your store, buy some silly things that have our logo on it. It's our logo. And again, we thank.
We gotta get I Heart Bethany shirts.
I want to be walking down the street and just see them
everywhere. And go to the stadium.
Funny Minds.
I Heart Bethany.
It's just a.
That's so cute. Again, thank you, and I'm so glad to have had you on here, and I thank the audience for watching us and being a part of us. And until our next episode, everybody, we love you, and bye-bye.